Vinny Maletti here, Maletti Law, the strongest name in law. The day now is February 3rd, 2020. It is Thursday. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. It is a dark, dreary day here in Brooklyn. After yesterday's sun, which was very nice, today we went back to completely darkness outside. The time now is 4 p.m., so now that the sun's going to be going down shortly, it's not getting any better. First and foremost, make sure you subscribe to the channel on the YouTube page, that little red button below. Make sure you go to the website, www.malettilaw.com, www.malettilaw.com, and make sure that you sign up to the newsletter so you're always in the know. So today we're just going through some more Q&As. You know, I had my admin kind of look everything together. She did a great job. And you know, you guys have a lot of questions. These are little questions that I think are helpful. So I figure if I just spend a little bit of time to discuss them and walk you all through them, not only do I think it helps you, but it helps me because it makes our conversations quicker. You know what you want, and we don't have any confusion. So let's boil down to it. Yesterday we gave you a couple on employment law. Today we have a couple on trademarks, service marks, registrations. So the question, I decided to combine two of them because I thought they were like closely related. All right, so three things, right? So we'll talk about three things today: trademarks, service marks, and registered marks. Okay, TMs, SMs, and then the R with the little circle around it, registered marks. Okay, so three kind of different things, but they came up in context. So a trademark is something for like products and services, right? So a trademark is your brand, right? So let's just use Coca-Cola, right? So you see a can of soda, it has that little red thing, red and white for Coca-Cola. You see something that looks red and white, you know that's the brand, you know that's Coca-Cola's brand. That's a great trademark, all right? So, trademark is something that represents a brand, that represents a service or a product. Trademark is something that's either like visual or it's a literary element, a word that has its own secondary meaning, meaning that it means something other than its usual existence. Perfect example I like is apple, right? You see the word apple, you don't think delicious red crispy fruit. Sometimes you think a phone, sometimes you think a computer, So that's a great trademark, Apple. And it's an amazing brand, right? Has amazing brand recognition. So you see Apple and you think that, right? So that's a trademark. It's associated. A trademark is some kind of representation, whether it be a word or an image, that's associated with a product or service. Now, SM is a service mark. Okay, so a service mark is something that's only associated with a service. So, for instance, like I don't know. This particular name or this particular logo is associated with the plumbing services you offer, right? So let's say your logo is a toilet bowl with, a pink toilet bowl. Every time you see that pink toilet bowl, you're going to get quality service. You're going to get a certain level of service, right? So that's a service mark in SM. So you have a trademark and a service mark. So the second part of this question was, sometimes you see, let's use, I'm trying to think if I have something here. I don't want to take it down. So whatever, let's use Maletti Law, right? So you have Maletti Law, which is my registered mark. So you have Maletti Law, and then you have the R in the circle. That means it's registered. That means it's registered with the USPTO, the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and I have the full panoply of protections on it. And the world is put on notice. I have protections from dating all the way back to when I first started using it, and that's what the registration symbol is for. Now, if Maletti Law wasn't registered, okay, if we're still just during the application process, then I wouldn't be able to use the R in the circle. Rather, I would use a TM for a trademark. So that TM is telling the viewer, the person that's looking at Maletti Law, that TM is telling the person, you've applied for a trademark, you're going through the process, and it's not registered yet, but there are notice that you are taking steps to register it, or that it's owned by somebody, somebody claims ownership to it, So that TM, which may also be an SM if it's a service mark, that TM puts the world on notice that you're in the process of getting this registered trademark, that you're in the process of getting this registered service mark, that you're in the process of getting registration. Now, you might not be registered yet, but you will be there at some point in time, and you're in the process of it. So how does that work? You have certain rights once you're registered. For instance, like statutory damages, bringing in federal claims that you don't have as a TM. When you just put in the world on notice with a TM, you have common law claims. You might have some state claims. You have common law claims, right? That you would have first in line, first in right, but you don't have the ability to use the federal registration, federal law on your side yet. You gotta wait a little time, you'll get it. It's like an 18-month process, assuming no issues, but that's what the difference is. Obviously, when you're registered, you have more strength behind you. There's more force to your claims. You have more options available to you. You don't need to prove actual damages. You could use statutory damages as an example, as a way to measure your damages. So that's really what you're looking for. So keep in mind, a TM and an SM, a trademark and a service mark. Okay, trademark has to do with goods and services. Service mark exclusively for services, obviously. Then the second portion is, how do you present that to the world? If your trademark, let's just say trademark because it's easy. If your trademark, your Mileti law has an R with a circle, you're registered, you have full rights under the federal law. If you have Mileti law and you have the TM on the top, not the R in the circle, then you have some rights on the common law, but you're putting the world on notice that you are looking for that you're looking for protection, you're applying for protection, and you'll be getting it shortly. So I hope this helps. That question does come in a lot. A lot of times my companies that I work with, when they're making their branding for internal purposes, let's just say, they're putting their logo inside their office, they're putting some kind of like icon inside their office. They don't know whether they want to use a TM or a registration symbol, whatever the case is. So this comes up often, not as often as you would think, but it does come up. So I just wanted to kind of like touch on it. And plus I'm able to like get two particular questions here. Difference between trademark and service mark, and as well as difference between someone who's applying for registration versus registration, and how that is embodied before the general public. So I hope this was helpful. Certainly if you have any questions, concerns, any interest, you know where to find me. www.miletilaw.com, www.miletilaw.com. Go to the Contact Us page, write me your questions. You can write me your questions below in the comment section, no problem. On YouTube, I am always here, vmileti@miletilaw.com, and certainly more than happy to help. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to cut this video off now. As always, yours in law, love, and lifts. If you have any questions, please let me know. Everybody have a wonderful day.